Hello, and let's talk about cold calls and warm calls and what is the difference. And yes, a restaurant and a bakery absolutely can do them, and they can do them successfully. So first, a cold call is when you have no idea who the company or the person is and you reach out to them. A warm call is when you have some idea who the company or the person is and you reach out to them. And restaurants can and should be doing this. Now, with a cold call, you don't necessarily want to call them on the phone, but you do want to drop in to their business with a little welcome package. Hey, we saw you and we just wanted to bless you today with a small package. And should you want to order in the future, this is our information. Supply a menu, a magnet, a business card, whatever you have, put it in there. If you are a home-based business, then you're going to want to figure out some way that you can still do that. You can give them a business card or a postcard and say, hey, when you call me, tell me that you are ready to have your freebie and I will have it on our porch ready for you to pick up, or I can mail it to you, or I can deliver it to you. Whatever the scenario is that you are choosing to do with your home business, if you're a home business. Now, if you are doing a warm call, that does require phone calls. And this is how we do it here at our shop. We come in, we check our messages. If they left us a message, we absolutely call them back. And if they haven't left us a message and we see that we just missed their call, we call them back and we say, hey, we're so sorry we missed your phone call. We were closed or we were busy, but we're returning it now. How can we help you? And then they'll say, oh, well, I was just calling about this or that. And we're like, oh, well, let me check our schedule and see what we have available. And then we tell them what we have available and we tell them what we can offer. And then we also tell them something that they might not have thought about doing. And we make it a little extra because everybody is so used to getting just the same old, then when we throw something different in there, usually 50% of the time people will be like, oh, yes, I want that. That's what I want. Now, you can also do the cold call and the warm call in person when they come into your business. So when they come into your business and they've never been to your business before, the cold call would be a larger slice of a sample or whatever than you would normally provide, or what you would normally get when you go somewhere. And we do that all the time when we give out our ice cream samples, our wine samples, slices of our cake or our brownie. We give a good size sample. It's ginormous. And they often will comment on, wow, that's a pretty generous sample. And then what we also do is we give away samples of things that they might not have tried before because they might have been too afraid. But being free, now what's the risk? There is no risk, and if I don't like it, I could just throw it away. So we also have gotten people to buy things just by doing that. So when we give people samples, we don't just say, oh, tell me what you like. No, we're like, okay, we're listening to what they're saying, we're listening to what they're looking at, we're listening to what they're talking about between each other, and like low touch, and we're like eavesdropping and we're paying attention to what they're doing. And then we say, oh, by the way, this is our dairy-free option today, this is our sugar-free option, this is our gluten-free option, and here's a couple regular options. Now, sometimes we'll give away a whole lot of samples, especially if there's a big group that comes in. We'll just get like a little plate and we'll just put a whole bunch of samples on there and just tell them what they all are and let them have at it. And when we give away our ice cream samples, we also do the same thing. We give them a pretty good size bite. It's about a tablespoon instead of the little itty bitty microscopic piece that most ice cream places give. And it has gotten us very good returns. People come back, people order a pretty good amount. When they do order, they're gracious. They don't see us as being selfish or thinking about me instead of as a whole, and seeing that by blessing them, I in return will be blessed. And if you're going to do a warm call when your customers come back in, what you can do is the same thing. We also give away samples generous samples to our returning customers. Why? We want them to keep returning. We want them to sample new things. We want to expand their taste buds. And we tell them that all the time. Life is a journey, and we are going to take you through all of the motions of our dessert land. And we get people to try things. We get them out of their comfort zone. They're like, ooh, I would never have tried a sugar-free or a dairy-free or a gluten-free dessert. And now we're willing to try that. Oh, that was amazing. And I cannot believe that. Are you sure you gave me dairy-free or gluten-free or sugar-free? And then they enjoy it, and then they tell other people, and then they come back because they know that every time they come in, they're going to get a sample, and it's going to be a nice sample. It's not going to be one that is going to be greedy and we're holding it back because, oh, that's money down the drain. No, it's not money down the drain. It actually will work in your benefit. Now, when we first started our pivot, we had gotten in touch with this restaurant that was doing fairly well. They were down towards the Sacramento area. And what they had told us that they do often is when the guest comes the first time, they will give them a free appetizer and then charge them for everything else. When they come the second time, they'll charge them for the appetizer, and then they will give them half price off of the entree. And then when they come for the third time, they will charge them for the appetizer and the entree, and then they will give them a free dessert. And then when they come for the fourth time, they will get a 10% discount. And then when they come for the fifth time, they will get a 25% discount. And then if they come after that, they offer them the opportunity to join the rewards club, where they can get more freebies and more updates and more discounts and more wonderful yumminess. But you can always get free samples when you come in. And that's how they grew their business, by giving away all those free things. Now, at first, I was like, oh man, that's a lot of money. But we also do a teaching on that, how scared money is lost money. And we don't want to go into any business proposition feeling like we're losing money. We have to see it as a different viewpoint. We need to look at it as we are putting the bait on the hook, and we are going to draw back in the big whopper. Because that's how people are. When they go into a restaurant, unless they've had your stuff before, they're not likely to jump right in and buy the most expensive thing. They're not likely to jump right in and try your newest, latest, and greatest thing. But if they've been there before, then they will be more likely to buy your most expensive thing. They will be more likely to try your newest and latest and greatest item. And that's how you get customers to come in, and that's how you get them to talk to you and open up. And then they start to feel a little bit more at ease. I've never really liked this before, but I really like this. Or, it might need just a little bit of this change or that change. And don't take those opinions to heart, and don't feel like they're criticizing you. They're telling you their preferences, and you don't have to change your stuff. But you do need to understand that by getting past those barriers and understanding how they think, by offering them freebies, will break down those barriers, will help you to sell better in the future, not only to them, but to other people. And you'll get more experience by opening yourself up. And you'll find that it's easier to get through this experience of cold calling, warm calling, and you can figure out new ways to do this. So remember, this is not just homework I'm giving you if you're a restaurant or a bakery, but also if you're a home bakery and you are doing things from your home. You can still do the warm call and the cold call by using postcards, by using business cards, by giving away magnets, and offering freebies that way as well. So we'll see you all later. Get to work.